Hi everybody. In this video we're going to go over how we can adjust our modular door corner stand-ins in Bambu Studio. And we're going to be using the gingerbread themed stand-ins as an example, but the techniques here would work for pretty much any of the stand-ins that I've created for modular door corner. Here we have the door corner where we have Joy on the right side, and we have kind of like a mom cookie and a little kid cookie. What I want to do is I want to have Joy on the left side, and I want to take our gingerbread man and scale up to be the same size as the gingerbread woman. Here we're in Bambu Studio. Any Orca based slicer would be the same or very similar to this. We're going to talk about mirroring our stand-ins, changing the position of our anchor on a stand-in, and scaling one of these. All three techniques can be done right here in Bambu Studio. It's real easy. We're going to start with the mirroring. We're going to do that on our Y. We want to get to be able to have our Y be able to be on the left side. So we select the plate, we'll select the item, and for mirroring it's real simple. We just make sure that both items, everything's selected here. We right click, we do a mirror. We're going to want to mirror along the x-axis. We do that, and now we have flipped this stand-in and we can print it. Now let's take care of the J one. This is a little different. Mirroring isn't going to work for us to get this to be right. We need to actually move this anchor over to this side, and this is where how I built these stand-ins and how this profile works is when we select the J, we select everything here. There's actually merged. There's actually two objects here. If we right click and we do a split, two objects, and now we kind of click off here. Now when I select the J, it's separate than when I select the anchor. Now we can simply move our anchor over to this side, but we want to, we need this to be flipped the other way. Now we could mirror this anchor just like we did with the Y, but we'll go ahead and use a rotate up here. So we'll select this, we get this little thing. We can rotate it in all dimensions. We're going to do the blue one here, and we're going to just rotate this around, and we'll find a good spot there. Click off. I'm going to zoom in here real tight because we're actually just going to drag this and position it so that it overlaps. We don't want to do this. We don't want to get it far too in there. It won't sit in our rails, but we're going to do this. And we also want, because the J is at the top, I'm going to put the anchor at the bottom. One could imagine if we wanted to have the Joy along the horizontal. Well, we could drag this down here and hook it down there. But we're going to, for our purposes here, we're going to do it right here. This looks good to me. We'll go ahead and deselect that anchor. Now, we could slice this and print it like this, but it's actually right now going to print as two pieces. We're going to want to re-merge that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the anchor, and I'm going to hold down the control key on my keyboard and also select this. And now with both of these selected, I'm going to right click and do this merge. If you're using a different Orca version, this might say assemble. It's the same. It's the same operation. So we'll do the merge. Now we have it back to a single object. To prove that we have it a single object, when I select it, it selects both, and when I move it, it moves both. So that's the key. So that's how we can position our anchor onto a different portion of our stand-in to be able to slot it in a little differently. Now we're going to go and do our scaling, and that's what we're going to be on the gingerbread man. We go over here, with scaling, we want to make sure that we don't scale the anchor. The anchor should remain the same. We just want to scale the gingerbread man itself. So we'll go ahead and select our gingerbread man. We're going to have to split off the anchor again. So we'll go back to our split and do that. Now we can select just our anchor and kind of move it off to the side. And now we can make our gingerbread man a little bigger. One thing we could do here in this case is we could grab our gingerbread woman and bring it up here so we kind of have a little bit of a reference while we do this, and because we kind of want it the same size. Let's go ahead and select our gingerbread man, and we'll go back up here and do this button on top here called scale. It's best to turn off uniform scale because we really only want to scale on the X and Y. Now we could type values in here, percentage kind of scaling, and see if we could get it right. We could also drag our bars here, but we see how it says X, Y, Z there, and then we have X and Z. We're gonna go ahead and scale, but on this X, Y, Z, because it's the easiest to get a uniform scale to kind of see what our what we want for a size. And this seems right here. But if we go over here, we notice we scaled the Z because we dragged that one. That's the up and down. That's the number of layers. We're gonna make sure, and we're pretty close to 140 here. So let's go ahead and just say, let's just say we're doing a 140 scale on these to make it nice and even, but this is 100. That's the key. The Z should not change. This should be the same height. If we scale the Z, it would kind of mess it up. Let's go ahead and send our gingerbread woman back home. Whoops, let's get out of the scaling. Don't want to do here. Let's go over here. And we have to put our gingerbread man back together again. This time we are going to, I'm going to show you a little different way than you holding down the control key. When we did the J there, we selected both by holding down the control key. That's going to work fine here too as well. But another technique, get this in the right spot. There are two parts still. Is we're going to probably going to be sit here on global. We're going to go over to objects, and we look at our plate 1. We see we have two objects. We have the gingerbread man, and we have the what I call the base double. If we select our objects on this tree, is another way we can select both objects. I'm holding down the control key again to select both, and then I'm going to right click over here and do a merge or assemble, and now it's this tree kind of showed that these are assembled into one. The reason I wanted to show this technique of using the objects in this tree view of the objects is that sometimes the stand-in, I had done some experimenting, especially with the Charlie Brown ones, the stand-ins actually are comprised of many bodies, and so it can be difficult on the plate to select them all. You can come over here to the objects and easily select all the bodies on that plate to merge them into one. Now we have our gingerbread man scale. We'll go ahead and print this guy at this size. Here we have our newly printed stand-ins, all of our adjusted ones. This is our scaled gingerbread man. We'll go ahead and put that in there. We'll go ahead and put our left-hand side stand-in, and then we'll add our J that's now positioned correctly. We'll use our existing O right there, and then our Y. And there you have it. How to adjust stand-ins to make it fit what you want to have in your door corner. Thanks for listening.